Hey guys, welcome to Original CaligulaoctoCat. I, of course, am CaligulaoctoCat, back with some Infinite Warfare, doing another DLC review. I did Sabotage last time, and that went pretty well. That was an alright video, I felt like, and it's one of the more popular videos on my channel. So, we're back again reviewing the Continuum DLC 2, this time for Infinite Warfare. And we're going to be doing all 4 multiplayer maps, which are Excess, Archive, Turista, and Scrap. Excess being a remake of Modern Warfare 2's Rust, and the new Zombies installment, Shaolin Shuffle, set in 70s New York. So it should be a fun video, and we're going to go ahead and get started off with a review and kind of an overview of the multiplayer maps. And first off, we have the multiplayer map, Turista, which was kind of a standout for me in this DLC pack for the multiplayer maps. And that is in part because of its location, which is a spa and resort. But the twist is, it's built inside the skeleton of a giant dinosaur. You can see bones sticking up that they made waterfalls out of. So that's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool, not really a dynamic to the map, but a pretty cool set piece. And another awesome set piece, if you look out on one side of the map across the water, you can see the rest of the dinosaur, and it just looks awesome. It's a really cool set piece, and I like that aspect of this map. The playstyle that it's suited for is close quarters, super close quarters map. That's pretty much all you're going to be encountering in this map. Hallways, corridors, that kind of thing. There are outside areas, but they're closed in by the bone waterfalls, like I said before, and as you have probably seen. So, yeah, it's pretty much close quarters. There's some sniper spots, but it's mostly like in windows of buildings, and I doubt you're going to get much payoff out of that. Probably going to get more kills and a higher kill streak if you run around, you know, getting close quarters kills. This is a close quarters map, as I said before. And it also is pretty dynamic for a 3-lane map. Most 3-lane maps, you play for, I don't know, 2 minutes, you get the hang of it, and you know the map layout. This one, it's not a complicated map by any means, but it feels more dynamic than most 3-lane maps that I play in Call of Duty games, and I really like that aspect. It's a really fun map to play, really cool for close quarters, and overall I just had a lot of fun on this one, and it looks amazing. Next up, we have Excess, which is a remake of the Modern Warfare 2 map, as they're doing a lot of remake maps with these Call of Duty games these days, which I don't have a problem with, but it's a remake of the Modern Warfare 2 map, Rust. And if you played Rust, you probably know how this map's going to play. I'm sure it's the same thing exactly, but, you know, it has a different look, of course. But, yeah, it is a remake of Rust, and this map can get insane. I did play free-for-all on it. Only so far, so that probably played into how crazy it was, but free-for-all even usually isn't this crazy when I play it. And this map is fast, it's frenetic, and a lot of maps you can say that it's suited for any play style, as some of the Call of Duty trailers say, but this map, it is true of this map entirely. It's not just a thing to throw around, it is definitely true of this map. You got tops of buildings, great for sniping. There are a lot of places you can go for sniping, including there's like a railway thing, kind of, that you can get on top of. I don't know really what to call it. There are also pipes you can get on top of for sniping, and on the ground there are also a lot of close quarters, so you can pull out your shotgun or SMG, have some of that action. There are also longer to medium range sight lines that you can use assault rifles and, once again, sniper rifles on. And this map has an overall really cool aesthetic to it. It's a really nice looking map. Some indoor areas, but not really. It's mostly outdoors that you'll be playing. But yeah, this map is really suited for any type of play style, so I'm sure any player can get into this one. Moving on to the next multiplayer map overview, we have Scrap, which is set on a junkyard on the moon, which kind of gives the illusion of being creative. It's kind of just a, you know, a junkyard, but it's on the moon. But that being said, it is a really nice map. There are some parts where it's a circular map, so, you know, it has kind of a Coliseum feel in some parts, and I thought that looked really cool. And there's also a magnet that turns you upside down, which was in the trailer for the multiplayer maps. And it turns you upside down for like sniping or really any kind of gun. But I think it's really supposed to be used as a sniper perch. So it's pretty much just a giant magnet that you can jump up onto, turn upside down, take some guys out, you know, perch up there for a while if you want. Though camping's looked upon, you know, it's a tactic. But, yeah, and also the play style, other than the magnet and sniping, it's close quarters, and you can tell it's close quarters, but it doesn't really feel like a map where you want to play primarily close quarters, if that makes sense. A lot of times, you know, I was getting on top of trucks, on top of pipes, whatever, and from there it was more medium to long range sight lines. So you can really play this map either way, but for me, I feel like I would feel more comfortable with an SMG, maybe a sniper, an assault rifle, that kind of thing. But shotguns, there is a place for them. If you have a class that you like to use with a shotgun, or you just like to use shotguns in general, it's really good for that type of thing. So, yeah, it's a pretty good map overall. The moon is a nice set piece as always. I really like the moon maps. Terminal was nice on the moon. Even though that was from Modern Warfare, it's nice on the moon. But, yeah, Scrap is a really good map set on a junkyard on the moon. And, yeah, medium sight lines to long range. There's a giant magnet. That pretty much covers this one. So, on to the next one. The next one being Archive. And I don't have much to say about this map on my little video outline that I wrote out for these maps on my thoughts so I wouldn't forget it. I have the least for it. There's only 1 or 2 bullet points. But despite that, I really like this map. It's really pretty. You can look out and it's kind of deserty, which I don't know why there's a giant art exhibit in the middle of the desert, but it's really nice still. It's a nice set piece. Deserts are beautiful anyways. But onto the actual map and not the desert. Inside the art exhibit, there are close quarters, so you're going to be using your shotguns and you know, your snipers obviously aren't going to be that good for close quarters. But snipers do come into play outside, because there is an outside area that's just as cool and fun to play as the inside. Well, maybe not as fun, because the inside gets pretty crazy. But outside is a pretty fun to play area where you can do your wall running and your kind of dynamic gameplay. But there are longer sight lines out there, much longer sight lines, because the inside in the exhibit, like I said, is really tight, really close quarters, so you're going to be having to watch your back a lot, watch your sides and everything. But outside, it's a pretty linear. There aren't a lot of ways enemies can come from, but it does add a nice dynamic to the map to have such a small area and such a kind of mixed area outside as well, where you can be out in the sun and, you know, kill people under the sun. It's pretty good stuff. So yeah, this map is really fun. There's kind of a cafe area that's also inside that isn't as close quarters as the actual exhibit, but it's pretty much medium sight lines, so, you know, assault rifles, sniper rifles, maybe that kind of thing. So this map again is suited for any play style, but it's not to the extent that XS is, so you're mostly going to be using probably assault rifles and SMG shotguns, that kind of thing. Not really a lot of sniping, but there is a place for it, so you don't have to worry about that. Last thing I'll be covering in this video, but certainly not least, is Continuum's installment of Infinite Warfare Zombies Shaolin Shuffle. It's a gritty map set in 70s New York City, and it's even grittier than Spaceland, obviously, but it's even grittier than Raven the Redwoods, the whole aesthetic and look of it. The whole gimmick this time, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing at all. The whole gimmick is kind of a kung fu vibe, as you can get from the title Shaolin Shuffle. And the guest star, Pam Grier, I believe her name is. I forgot to look into that, but I'm pretty sure it's Pam Grier. She plays a sensei kind of character that gives you hints and guides you, kind of like Kevin Smith did, but she's more, you know, sensei of the mind kind of thing. I don't think she moves her mouth when she talks. Does anyone in Zombies? I don't know. Anyway, she's a sensei character, and she kind of guides you along your way. There are 4, I believe, Kung Fu fighting styles in this, which is pretty cool, and I can't wait to try all those out. I didn't spend much time with this, but I played enough to be able to convey to you guys my ideas and feelings about it. And the story is that Arthur McIntosh, a big business guy, I'm pretty sure he's a real guy too, I think. But anyway, the story of Shaolin Shuffle is his business went under, so he got really depressed. Guy's crying in the sewers. He takes a serum. It's marked 13, I believe, and he becomes the Rat King, which is this installment of Zombies boss. So he's pretty much a giant rat guy that controls rats. And as far as I know, the weapons are going to be the same except for nunchucks and katanas, you know, martial arts type weapons. So pretty much a recap of this Shaolin Shuffle is that it added Kung Fu weapons, Kung Fu fighting styles, which is, I'm assuming, like your melee stuff. But that may include the weapons too, but I don't think so. It's a gritty New York setting, based in the 70s. And, yeah, Pam Grier's a sensei. So that's pretty much, oh, and the Rat King, Arthur McIntosh, is a giant rat man. So, yeah, that pretty much concludes it for, this review of Infinite Warfare Continuum, which, in my opinion, is a really good DLC. I feel like it really impressed me a lot more than the first DLC, which I still liked, but it wore off pretty quickly. I feel like this one I'll have more fun with. It's an entertaining DLC. Zombies is going to be a lot of fun. The multiplayer maps, they aren't really geared toward anything specific like the last one. Was super close quarters. Like, all 4 maps were pretty close quarters, but this one is pretty much not geared towards any specific playstyle, which is what I like about it. So it's probably why the multiplayer trailer really emphasized playing your way. But, yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you, guys, so much for watching. I enjoyed making this video. If you enjoyed it, like and subscribe, all the good stuff. You've heard it a million times before. I'm not going to give you the whole spiel over again, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, be sure to follow me on Twitter. I'll put the @ somewhere on the screen, and that's where I put all my video updates and where I interact with people, all that stuff. So check me out over on Twitter, give me a follow, and yeah, interact with me, guys. Leave a comment down below, all that good stuff, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with another gameplay video pretty soon.